The winner of Canada's Drag Race Season 4 is... Venus!
Woohoo! Royalty! Crowned!
Vancouver's own.
In the house!
Venus!
Yeah!
Venus, the winner of Canada's Drag Race Season 4, is in the house. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How exciting was it?
Very exciting. Hearing you say that, it's now starting. I feel like I've heard that a few times now.
Really?
That I'm like, okay, I think it's real. It's settled in.
And historic.
Yeah. Historic.
Right? There you go. Okay,
Oh my gosh,
tell
I
us
just
a
got
bit
full
about you.
goosebumps. That was so cool.
You're from Vancouver. Tell
Born
us a
and
bit
raised.
about you.
Born and raised here in Vancouver, and my mother's family is from Ireland. Immigrated here, and my father's family is from Manitoba, St. Boniface originally. Now in St. Anne. Anyone out there from St. Anne? Hey! Super small town. But yes, a proud French Métis family. And yeah, so this was the first time that a Indigenous queen made it this far on Canada's Drag Race.
Woo!
So yeah, a huge moment for myself and for my community, and you know, for all of my sisters who came before me on that platform.
And those who will come after you.
Yes, yes, and there's so many like incredible Indigenous talents in this country and across Turtle Island. So very excited for, you know, this current moment and for what's to come.
Yeah.
Can you take us on the journey of how this started for you?
Drag in
Yeah.
general? Okay, well, I actually wasn't, I've always done drag. I feel like we kind of talked about that of like, you know, anything is really drag. Like RuPaul says, you're all born naked, the rest is just drag. And that's sort of life for me. I was dressing up as a princess and whatever. In high school, I did some like gender bending roles in theater. But I was living in Manitoba in 2016, and I made this character. Her name was Stacy from the 305. And she was just like this really lewd character who lived on the highway. And I just created this character, and I was like, oh, I really love like getting to create a persona and stuff like that. So when I moved back to Vancouver, there was sort of a renaissance of drag of sorts happening in the city, I would say. That was sort of like pioneered by a few different queens, and I would just be going to drag shows and wanting to find that queer connection, because I was lacking that, especially lacking that in, you know,
Winnipeg.
the rural municipality of St. Anne, Manitoba. And so that was sort of my mission, right? And then drag happened.
And you got
I
pulled
put
into the
on-
family.
I remember I was like really sick one day, and I was living with my mom, and I like just started like playing around in her makeup and like had like a wig that a friend gave me, and I was just sort of like testing the waters, and I was like, oh wow, she's actually kind of something.
Right? I mean, you are spectacular.
Thank you.
And people probably look at you and go, oh, man, she just has, everything's easy.
There's times.
for
Must
her."
be so
Has it been, have there been challenges along the way?
Yeah, I mean, I think like, I mean, we can pull up the photos, you know, like 2017 wasn't the cutest look for me. But I think the thing about drag is you have to believe it, right? Like the number one thing is like, fake it till you make it, really.
Let's look at the photos that show just
Oh,
how
this is current times.
Let's
Current
current
times.
times it up with Venus.
You, look at this. This is like old Hollywood.
Thank you. I love playing around with that old Hollywood archetype. That is always one of my faves.
Girl.
So this photo was my finale look from the show.
So beautiful.
This is shot by the drag series. His name is Fernando. And we were flown via helicopter.
No green screen.
No green screen. That is us standing on. It's called Rainbow Mountain, and it's a 12,000-year-old glacier outside of Whistler. So that was a moment of like, that was our very final photo shoot from the entire show. And we were just on top of this glacier, and I was having a moment of just like, there's so much that went into this. And now that I'm on top of a glacier with some of my closest friends who helped me, you know, it takes a village to do what we do. And just looking around, I just got really emotional, because it's like, you know, this is all coming to fruition. And that's before I knew if I won or not. So I was like, girl, I'm flying on top of a 12,000-year-old glacier here. I hope something comes of this.
And it did.
And it
Yeah.
did.
So explain how that works. You found out, you didn't find out on stage the day that we all saw?
Yeah,
on
you know,
Canada's Drag
TV
Race?
magic is just, you know, there's how many of us drag queens on this show. I don't think they can trust any of us to know who the actual winner is, because if you know drag queens, we love to talk.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where, yeah, when that episode was airing, I didn't know. And there's a video on my Instagram of me finding out, like, in real time, and
Yeah.
I'm quite literally like shaking,
Losing it. Yeah.
and there I am at the finale party
my
after
stunning.
my win, and yeah, that was really incredible, having all my family there, and just I wanted to have that raw moment of knowing, you know, when everyone else knew, because just enjoy the episode and have fun.
Drag queens are having a moment because
Yes.
it's mainstream kind of now finally, and yet we're also have this sort of going backwards thing with these idiots protesting at libraries, and the Alberta Premier, not to get all political here, came out this
do it.
week and said
Drag
a
is
bunch of
political.
Right.
stupid things about trans people and stuff. I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, most of us are allies and some people are not.
Right. I think it's more of like a lack of understanding of people who are different than you. You know, I think when you grow up queer, you're different from the get-go, so you sort of have an understanding of, okay, well, there are different people in the world, but when you have a narrow, you know, mindset and point of view, or even like people in the small town that I lived in, right, it's like they're just not exposed to this, so they're only finding out their information from a very small-minded group of people, where it's like, okay, well, in the, you know, the real world, and like, you know, where we're all living all together, it's like, this is what's going on, and this is actually okay. I was just in the UK for DragCon, and DragCon, if you don't know, is like a convention for drag queens, and a lot of the people that are coming up to me are children, or like young teens, and like it gets me emotional thinking about how impactful the art of drag has had on them.
In what way? Give us an example of what
just
one might
like-
say to you. For the person
just-
out there that's thinking that's a bad thing, it's a good thing.
It allows people to express themselves in a different way. It allows someone to realize, like, okay, well, I always knew that I was other, so if I saw someone else that, you know, I saw myself in, then, you know, I would move more comfortably throughout the world. And it just instills confidence. And why wouldn't you want to live in a confident society? I don't know why we want to live amongst people where we're making people feel small and less than, when it's like, you know, we all have something to bring to the table here.
And when you say drag is political, it takes that power and strength to put yourself out there the way you do.
I mean, think of like the people who came before me, right? Like my ancestors and like my drag ancestors, right? It's like, these are people that were doing things that were like illegal. And, you know, drag is still illegal in some places in the world, but it's
Which
like
is crazy.
Which is, yeah. But now we're living in a time where, thanks to the likes of RuPaul and to like, you know, people who do drag and have been doing drag before it hit the mainstream, it's like, this is just another form of expression. This is like, it's fun.
It's
you know,
art.
it's like, we don't go to a drag show to like hear about, I don't know, Pierre, I don't even know his last name. But like, we don't, that's not what we're doing. We're listening to
Piers Morgan, maybe?
several different peers.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone
But we
who
want to
would
be amongst
fearful.
our peers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And just listen to good music and put on a song and dance and have a good time.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, we would love to have you here for the
Of
whole rest of the
course.
show.
Honestly, we could.
But I'm going to make a prediction right here, because I was
Okay,
thinking
okay.
this. I think you're going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Woo!
I think you're going to win.
Okay.
Girl.
Tagging it.
Okay.
Let's
I'm with you.
Cheers
All right?
to that.
And then we're going to play it back, and then you'll come back
I'll
on
come
the show.
back with another
Venus,
crown.
You're
it.
amazing.
Thank
We're
you.
proud of
You're
you,
beautiful.
Venus.
See you at a show soon.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Love
Yes.
that.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
Whew. All right.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I got all excited there.
I
Sorry about-
know. I
all
love your
kerfuffled.
prediction.
Okay, coming up next. Protesters
Here
take
we go
aim
again.
at the Mona Lisa, another priceless piece of art. What the hell is wrong with people is coming up next.
And just before we go to break, of course, it's viewing party time. Take a picture of you watching us right now, and maybe you could be in it to win it like Cheryl and Mrs. Stella are.
We also have Sue. Hello, Sue.
Hi, Sue. And Wanda in Abbotsford. Hello there, Wanda. Loving it.
And Wendy and Wilson in cameos.
You could win by entering viewing party at checkmedia.ca. Someone today is going to win a $150 gift card to Joey's, compliments of the BCRFA. Back in a moment.